First up tonight, the chief of Portland Police is sharing his support for the city council's decision to add funding back to the Bureau. The council unanimously approving that budget, which will dedicate more than $7 million to hire more officers, purchase body cameras, and invest in public safety. Let's get right over to Fox 12's Sarah Hurwitz. She joins us in studio. Sarah, with the police chief's message tonight and his vision that he's sharing for the future.
Yeah, he had a lot of important things to say. Chief Lovell says that this is a good first step for the Bureau, and he says now the focus is on hiring.
A word of thanks from Portland Police Chief Chuck Lovell.
We're grateful to the City Council for their unanimous decision to provide additional funding to the Police Bureau.
The Portland City Council unanimously voted to spend more than $7 million to hire more officers, purchase body cameras, and invest in new training and hiring programs. Chief Lovell says this will help the Bureau build back what it lost.
We want to get our numbers up quickly, but I want to remind people that this process takes time.
Right now, the chief says the Bureau is in the process of hiring background investigators. These folks check employment history, credit status, criminal history, and a range of other pieces in the hiring process. Lovell says in the last budget cut, the Bureau had to lay off a number of positions who help with the hiring process, including the Bureau's recruitment manager. But getting these people on board, the chief says, will help in processing other applicants looking to work for the Bureau. The chief also says the Bureau's wrapping up interviews on Friday of officers who've applied for the Focused Intervention Team. He says 46 applied for 12 officer spots, and he's hopeful the selection process will all be done by the end of the month and the team can be up and running in the new year.
This is dangerous work, probably more dangerous than it's been in a long time. So we want to make sure we give folks the opportunity to get comfortable working together, make sure they have the opportunity to train together, and have some contact with the FITCOG, the Focused Intervention Team Community Oversight Group.
And in light of the council approving funding for body cameras, the chief says he supports that and officers want body cameras.
The body camera piece, it takes time. There's still policy things we have to work through. There's still technology pieces to that puzzle that have to be sorted out. The good news is we've had a jump start on that for a little while. We looked at body cameras years ago and we had money set aside for a pilot. So some of that upfront work was done, even some of the community conversations around it. But it does take time, and some of the stuff around body cams is still subject to negotiation too.
And while this funding aims to help the Bureau in the next few years, I did ask the chief what he thinks are long-term solutions and what might be needed for the future to get the Bureau back to where it needs to be. You'll hear his answer at 6 o'clock tonight. Reporting live here in studio, Sarah Hurwitz, Fox 12 again.